Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun! Steam rising from the freshly brewed coffee created a peaceful ambiance, setting the stage for a significant moment. The walls of the apartment echoed with the quietness, interrupted only by the rhythmic ticking of time. Unbeknownst to them, this tranquility marked a pivotal point in their relationship. Melissa, her dark hair cascading gently, leaned in, her eyes sparkling with a secretive glint. "Our anniversary is nearly upon us," she whispered, her voice carrying a hint of adventure. "I want to make this one truly special. I have an idea we already booked that fancy restaurant downtown." Melissa's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Oh, we're still going there. But I was thinking we could add a twist to make it really memorable." She reached for her mug, taking a slow sip. "You know how we've always been honest about everything, right? Even the unconventional stuff?" "Yeah, of course." The coffee suddenly tasted bitter, despite the 2 spoonfuls of sugar. "Well, remember when we watched that movie last month? The one where the guy had to dress as a woman to get that job?" The mug froze halfway to lips. "Mrs. Doubtfire, what about it?" Melissa set her coffee down and leaned even closer. "I noticed how interested you were. You didn't even check your phone once during the transformation scenes." Heat rushed to cheeks that weren't used to blushing. It was good makeup work, that's all." "Jamie." She reached across and took his hands in hers. "I've seen how you look at dresses sometimes when we shop. The way your eyes linger on certain fabrics or styles. I've noticed." The room suddenly felt too warm. Jamie's brown eyes darted away from hers, focusing instead on a spot on the carpet. "I don't know what you're talking about." "I'm not judging," Melissa said softly. "Actually, I think it might be fun to explore that side of you. As my anniversary gift to you, and maybe to us, I want to give you a complete makeover." Jamie nearly knocked over his coffee. "You can't be serious." "Completely serious." She squeezed his hands. "I've actually already got everything we need. Clothes, makeup, even a wig." "This is crazy." Jamie pulled his hands away, standing up and pacing across the living room, his blue jeans and gray t-shirt suddenly feeling constricting. "I can't just... where would we even go? People would know." Melissa stood too, her expression softening. "We'll go to the restaurant as planned. It's in another part of town where nobody knows us. Don't you see? It's perfect!" Jamie ran a hand through his short brown hair. "And what if someone recognizes me?" "They won't. Trust me, when I'm done with you, your own mother wouldn't recognize you." She approached him slowly, as if he might bolt. "Just think about it, okay? No pressure. But I think there's a part of you that wants this." Sleep didn't come easily that night. Jamie stared at the ceiling, listening to Melissa's steady breathing beside him. Was she right? Had he really been that obvious? The truth was, those transformation scenes had always fascinated him. The idea of becoming someone else, someone completely different, held an appeal he'd never admitted to anyone, not even himself. Morning arrived with golden sunlight streaming through half-closed blinds. Melissa was already up, humming in the kitchen. The smell of pancakes wafted through the apartment. "Morning, sleepyhead!" She smiled as Jamie shuffled into the kitchen, still wearing his navy blue pajama bottoms and white t-shirt. "Made your favorite, blueberry pancakes." "Thanks." He accepted the plate she handed him, noticing her studying his face. "Did you think about what I said?" Jamie set the plate down, appetite suddenly gone. I did. And I think... He took a deep breath. I think I want to try it. Melissa's face lit up. Really? Just this once, for our anniversary. Jamie felt his heart racing. But I don't even know where to start. Leave everything to me. She kissed him on the cheek. Finish your breakfast. We've got a big day ahead. After breakfast, Melissa disappeared into their spare bedroom, returning with several shopping bags Jamie had never seen before. She emptied their contents onto the bed: a red cocktail dress, black stockings, nude heels, and various items of feminine underwear. When did you get all this? Jamie asked, touching the silky fabric of the dress with hesitant fingers. I've been planning this for a couple of months. She grinned. I had to guess your sizes, but I think they'll fit. And this? Jamie picked up a rectangular box. Open it. Inside was a wig, blonde, shoulder-length hair with gentle waves. It looked real, expensive. This must have cost a fortune, Jamie whispered. You're worth it. Melissa took the box from him. Now, let's start with a shower. You'll need to shave. Everything. The next hour was surreal. Jamie followed Melissa's instructions, shaving his legs, chest, and arms until his skin felt unnaturally smooth. When he emerged from the bathroom wearing just a towel, Melissa was waiting with a determined look on her face. First, let's get you dressed. Then makeup. The sensation of silk and lace against his newly smooth skin was unlike anything Jamie had ever experienced. Melissa helped him into everything, adjusting straps and smoothing fabric, all while providing a running commentary on proper fit and style. These heels might be tricky at first, she warned, as Jamie wobbled to his feet. Take small steps and keep your weight centered. By the time they moved to the makeup part, Jamie was already feeling transformed. Seated at Melissa's vanity, he watched in the mirror as she worked, applying foundation, concealer, eyeshadow, and mascara with practiced precision. You're too good at this, Jamie murmured as she blended a rosy blush across his cheekbones. I've watched a lot of tutorials. She concentrated on his lips now, outlining them with a pencil before filling them in with a rich red that matched the dress. Besides, you have great bone structure for this. Your cheekbones are to die for. The wig was the final piece. Melissa positioned it carefully, adjusting until it looked natural. She stepped back, admiring her work. Look at yourself, she whispered. Jamie turned to the full-length mirror and gasped. The person staring back was unrecognizable, a beautiful woman with soft blonde waves, framing a delicate face, wearing a red dress that hugged curves where padding had been strategically placed. I don't... Jamie's voice caught, coming out higher than usual. I don't even know what to say. You don't need to say anything. Melissa stood behind him, hands on his shoulders. But you do need a name. You can't be Jamie tonight. Without hesitation, the word fell from glossy lips. Aurora. Aurora. Melissa tried it out, smiling. It's perfect, like the dawn of something new. They arrived at the restaurant just after 7. Jamie, no, Aurora now, held tightly to Melissa's arm as they walked from the car, each step in the nude heels more confident than the last. Reservation for Melissa Carter, party of 2, Melissa told the host. The man checked his list. Of course. Right this way, ladies. Ladies! The word sent a thrill through Aurora. He hadn't even hesitated, hadn't given her a second glance except to appreciate the two women in front of him. Their table was near the back, intimate and candle-lit. Aurora sat carefully, remembering everything Melissa had coached her on. How to smooth the dress beneath her, how to cross her legs at the ankle.
"What can I get you ladies to drink?"
The waiter appeared, smiling professionally. "I'll have a glass of the house red," Melissa said. Aurora cleared her throat softly. "The same, please." The waiter nodded and left. Melissa reached across the table, taking Aurora's hand.
"You're doing amazing,"
she whispered. "How does it feel?" Aurora looked down at their intertwined fingers, her manicured nails gleaming in the candlelight. "It feels right, like I've been wearing the wrong clothes my entire life." "I knew it!" Melissa's eyes shone. "I could see it in you, waiting to come out." The evening progressed like a dream. They ate, they drank, they talked and laughed. Not once did anyone give Aurora a suspicious look. The waiter addressed them both as ladies throughout the meal. A woman at a nearby table even complimented Aurora's dress as they were leaving. Back in the car, Aurora stared out the window, watching the city lights blur past. "I don't want this night to end," she confessed. Melissa glanced over. "Who says it has to?" "What do you mean?" "I mean, this doesn't have to be a one-time thing. If you enjoyed it, if it felt right, we could make this a regular part of our lives." Aurora turned to look at her. "You'd be okay with that?"
"More than okay."
Melissa smiled.
"I've never seen you look so comfortable in your own skin."
The realization hit Aurora like a wave. Melissa was right. For the first time in her life, she felt complete. Not playing a role, not pretending, but finally being who she was meant to be.
"I'd like that,"
Aurora said softly.
Maybe
weekends to start?" "Whatever you want." Melissa reached over and squeezed her hand. "This is your journey. I'm just happy to be part of it." As they pulled into their apartment complex, Aurora made a decision. Jamie wouldn't be coming back tonight. Or tomorrow. Maybe not ever. The person who had left the apartment that morning was not the same one returning now. The next morning, Aurora woke to sunlight streaming across the bed. For a moment, disorientation set in. The blonde hair tickling her cheek, the silky nightgown against her skin. Then memory flooded back, along with a sense of peace she'd never known before. Melissa was already awake, watching her with a soft smile. "Good morning, beautiful." "Morning." Aurora's voice was still her own, but somehow different, softer, more deliberate. "How do you feel?" Aurora considered the question. "Like I've finally woken up from a very long dream." Melissa propped herself up on one elbow. "So, what happens now?" "I think..." Aurora sat up, the blonde wig still perfectly in place thanks to Melissa's careful securing the night before. "I think I'd like to learn how to do my own makeup. And maybe we could go shopping for more clothes?" "Absolutely." Melissa's face lit up. "We'll make today a girls' day. Shopping, lunch, maybe get your nails done professionally." "Won't people notice? In daylight?"
"Aurora, sweetheart, no one questioned you last night.
"No one will question you today either. You pass completely." The confidence in Melissa's voice was contagious. Aurora nodded, throwing off the covers.
"Okay, let's do it."
The mall was crowded, but Aurora found herself relaxing as they moved from store to store. Melissa was right. No one gave her a second glance, except occasionally to admire her outfit. By lunchtime, they had several bags of clothes, and Aurora had picked out a pair of red flats that were much more comfortable than the heels from the night before. What about these? Melissa held up a pair of jeans. Aurora considered them. They're cute, but I think I prefer dresses and skirts for now. They feel more affirming. Whatever makes you happy. Melissa returned the jeans to the rack. Oh, I almost forgot. We should stop by the salon. I made an appointment. For what? You can't wear that wig forever. It's good quality, but it gets hot and can slip. I thought maybe you'd like to get your own hair styled. It's already pretty long. You haven't cut it short in, what, a year? Aurora touched the blonde wig self-consciously. But my hair isn't blonde. It could be. Melissa grinned. That's what hair dye is for. The salon experience was transformative. Aurora watched in the mirror as her natural brown hair was lightened, shade by shade, until it matched the golden blonde of the wig. The stylist then shaped it, adding layers that framed her face in a way that emphasized its softness. What do you think? The stylist stepped back, admiring her work. Aurora turned her head, watching how the light caught the new blonde strands.
It's perfect. You're absolutely gorgeous.
The stylist agreed, making eye contact with her in the mirror. Your bone structure is amazing. Those cheekbones could cut glass. Aurora blushed, the compliment warming her from within. Thank you. By the time they left the salon, the wig was safely tucked into Melissa's purse, and Aurora's newly blonde hair bounced around her shoulders. She felt lighter somehow, as if she'd shed not just her old hair color, but her old self entirely. How about we get dinner out? Melissa suggested as they walked back to the car. We can try that new Italian place that opened last month. Aurora nodded, but there was something she needed to address. Melissa, what happens on Monday? I have work. Melissa slowed her pace. What do you want to happen? I don't know. Aurora bit her lip, careful not to smudge her lipstick. I don't think I can go back to being Jamie, even just for work. It would feel like putting on a costume. A lie. Then don't. Melissa's voice was firm. Be Aurora. Call in sick on Monday, and we'll use the time to figure out the next steps. Maybe you could speak to HR about transitioning at work. Is that even possible? What about legal documents? My name? All things we can figure out, one step at a time. Melissa squeezed her hand. The important thing is that you're happy, that you're living authentically. Aurora let these words sink in. Living authentically. Wasn't that what everyone wanted? The chance to be their true self without fear or pretense? Okay, she nodded, decision made. No more Jamie. From now on, I'm Aurora. All the time. The weekend passed in a blur of shopping, learning, and discovery. By Sunday evening, Aurora had a closet full of clothes that felt right, dresses in various colors, skirts that swished around her legs, blouses that softened her silhouette. Melissa had taught her the basics of makeup, and they'd practiced together until Aurora could create a natural daytime look on her own. Monday morning arrived too quickly. As promised, Aurora called in sick to work, claiming a bad case of flu. Her boss was understanding, telling her to take the time she needed to recover. That buys us a few days, Melissa said after Aurora hung up. Now I've been doing some research. She opened her laptop, showing Aurora websites about legal name changes, gender identity, and workplace rights. They spent the morning reading, taking notes, creating a plan. "I've also found a support group," Melissa added. "They meet on Wednesday evenings. It might help to talk to others who've gone through this." Aurora nodded, overwhelmed, but grateful. "I don't know how to thank you for all this, for understanding, for helping me." "You don't need to thank me." Melissa closed her laptop and took Aurora's hands. "Seeing you happy, seeing you become who you truly are, that's all the thanks I need." The support group was held in a community room of a local library. Aurora's stomach twisted with nerves as they approached the door. She'd chosen a modest outfit, a knee-length navy blue skirt, a white blouse, and her comfortable red flats. Her blonde hair was pulled back into a simple ponytail, and her makeup was subtle. "You look beautiful," Melissa assured her, sensing her anxiety. "And you belong here." The group was small, just 8 people sitting in a circle of chairs. They looked up as Aurora and Melissa entered, and a woman with short red hair stood to greet them. "Welcome! I'm Rebecca, the group facilitator. Is this your first time joining us?" Aurora nodded, finding her voice. "Yes, I'm Aurora, and this is my girlfriend, Melissa." "Wonderful to meet you both. Please take a seat. We were just about to start introductions." As they joined the circle, Aurora felt her tension begin to ease. Each person shared their name and a brief part of their journey. There was David, who had transitioned 5 years ago and now mentored others. Monica, who was just beginning hormone therapy. Christopher, who had lost family but found new community. And others, each with their own unique story. When it was Aurora's turn, she took a deep breath. "I'm Aurora. Until 3 days ago, I was living as someone else, someone who never felt quite right in his own skin." She glanced at Melissa, drawing strength from her encouraging smile. "I don't know exactly what my path looks like yet, but I know I can't go back to pretending." The nods of understanding around the circle brought tears to her eyes. These people got it. They understood in a way that perhaps even Melissa, with all her love and support, couldn't fully comprehend. After the meeting, several members approached to offer advice and phone numbers. David, in particular, took Aurora aside. "The early days can be overwhelming," he said kindly. "But remember, you're not alone in this. And from what I can see, you have an amazing partner supporting you." Aurora looked over at Melissa, who was deep in conversation with Monica. "I do. I'm incredibly lucky." "Not luck," David corrected. "Love. Real love sees us for who we truly are, not who others expect us to be." The next few weeks were a whirlwind of appointments and decisions. Aurora met with a therapist who specialized in gender identity, began the legal process to change her name, and finally had the difficult conversation with her workplace. To her surprise, her boss, a woman in her 50s, whom Aurora had always respected but feared might be traditional in her views, was supportive. "Your work has always been excellent," she said during their private meeting. "That's what matters to this company. We'll need to update HR records, of course, and there might be some adjustments for the team, but we'll make it work." Not everyone was as understanding. A few coworkers avoided her when she returned to the office as Aurora. One older man from accounting made a point of using her old name until HR intervened. But overall, the transition at work went smoother than she had feared. Family was a different matter. Aurora's parents struggled with the change. Her father, a stern man who had always pushed her to be more masculine growing up, refused to use her new name or pronouns. Her mother tried harder but often slipped, tears in her eyes as she corrected herself. "Give them time," Melissa advised after a particularly difficult Sunday dinner at Aurora's parents' house. "This is a big adjustment. They love you. They just don't fully understand yet." Aurora nodded, wiping away frustrated tears that threatened to ruin her mascara. "I know. It's just hard to be patient when I finally feel like I'm living truthfully." "Truth takes courage," Melissa reminded her, squeezing her hand. "And you, my love, are the bravest person I know." 3 months after that first transformative weekend, Aurora stood in front of the same mirror where she had first seen her true self. She wore the red dress again. It had become something of a good luck charm, and her blonde hair, now slightly longer and styled with more confidence, framed a face that had softened further from hormone therapy. "Ready for our anniversary dinner?" Melissa appeared in the doorway, stunning in a black dress that complemented Aurora's red one. "Our anniversary was 3 months ago," Aurora reminded her with a smile. "True, but today is a different anniversary." Melissa approached, wrapping her arms around Aurora's waist from behind. Together, they gazed at their reflection. "Today marks 3 months of you living as your authentic self. I think that deserves a celebration." Aurora turned in Melissa's arms, careful of her heels. "Have I told you lately how much I love you?" "You might have mentioned it." Melissa grinned. "But I never tire of hearing it." "Well, I do. Love you, that is. More than I ever thought possible." "And I love you." Melissa's expression grew serious. "The real you. The you that was always there, waiting to emerge." As they left the apartment, arm in arm, Aurora thought about the journey of the past 3 months. There had been challenges, certainly. Medical appointments, legal hurdles, difficult conversations. There would be more to come. The path she had chosen wasn't always easy, but walking beside Melissa, in a body that finally felt like home, Aurora knew one thing with absolute certainty: she would never go back to living in shadows. Aurora was not a weekend transformation or a temporary exploration. She was not a costume to be worn and discarded. She was real, she was here, and she was finally, truly alive. The restaurant was the same one they had visited that first night. The host recognized them, greeting them warmly and showing them to what had become their table near the back. "The usual drinks, ladies?" he asked with a smile. "Yes, please," Aurora answered, her voice now naturally settling into a higher register after months of practice and therapy. As they settled in, Melissa reached across the table just as she had that first night. "Happy anniversary, Aurora." Aurora gazed at the woman who had seen her, truly seen her, before she had even recognized herself. The woman who had provided not just the clothes and makeup for a physical transformation, but the love and support for a spiritual one. "Happy anniversary, my love," she replied, raising her glass in a toast. "To new beginnings, and to being exactly who we were always meant to be." Outside the restaurant window, the sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of gold and crimson. Aurora watched the colors blend and change, much like her own life had done. The transformation that had begun as an anniversary surprise had become the greatest gift she could have ever received, the gift of herself, whole and complete at last. And as she sat across from Melissa, bathed in the warm glow of sunset and love, Aurora knew that while her journey was far from over, she would never walk it alone. Whatever challenges tomorrow might bring, she would face them as her true self, with Melissa by her side. The future stretched before them like an open road, full of possibilities. And for the first time in her life, Aurora couldn't wait to see where it would lead.
Thanks for watching, my girlies. Be sure to check out Patreon for more.